Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got another weird sim game to review. This time it's all about them buns in Bakery Simulator, so let's get on with it. Another day, another simulator. The genre has picked up a lot over the last decade, giving players the chance to experience jobs that make the world go round. Truck driving, lawn mowing, policing, you name a regular profession and the chances are good that there is a simulator for it. But not all are made equal, and it's pretty much hit and miss when it comes to new simulator games. Thankfully, Bakery Simulator is more hit than miss, but it doesn't come out of the kitchen totally clean. Now, if you thought Bakery Simulator would have you running your own little bakery, serving up buns and bread to grannies, you'd be wrong. I actually thought that's what the game would entail too, but instead, you're literally just a baker who fulfills orders for other outlets. You're also a delivery driver, as and when you want to be. More on that later. Bakery Simulator tasks you with running a baker's kitchen all by yourself. Each day you'll go to the job board and see what orders have come in, and then get moving around your kitchen, collecting ingredients and putting the work in to create the end product. The game begins quite easily, and there's a decent tutorial to get your hands floured up and familiar with the basics. Once you've gone through the tutorial, it's all up to you how you progress. You start in a humble baker's kitchen with the bare necessities required to make the goods that are ordered. But if you put in the work, you could be running your own mega operation. To get there, you're going to need to cook harder than Heisenberg. The actual making is split into various steps that, as you can imagine, follow quite close to the real life baking. You'll check your ingredients list, gather the right amounts in your mixing bowl, give the dough a good mix, and then cut and shape the dough as per the order's requirements. Then sheet them up and bung them in the oven. Some of these steps get broken up into mini games of sorts. For example, picking eggs for your mixing bowl introduces a bar across the bottom of the screen, and you have to time your button press to crack the egg as the slider hits the middle of the bar. Likewise, dividing the dough up plays out in a similar fashion, and shaping the dough has you moving bakery themed icons over their counterparts. It's simple stuff, and to begin with, I didn't mind it, but when you realise that if an order of 40 breakfast buns comes in, you literally have to do those mini games 40 times. It gets tiring, but this is where the progression plays in. Completing orders correctly and on time will get you paid, and once you've saved up enough of your hard-earned pennies, you can begin upgrading your equipment. Level up and hoard your cash, and you'll soon be moving from the dainty kitchen to a much bigger workspace with time-saving tools that, for the most part, eliminate the mini-games from your daily grind. When I started out my career in Bakery Simulator, I noticed a timer in the top corner telling me how long I've got left to complete my order and have it in my customer's hands before failing. During the early stages of the game where my kitchen was small and my orders were few, the time allotted, usually something like 17 minutes or so, seemed strange. I could get my order done in a fraction of that time. I felt no pressure. And then I leveled up and moved into my new kitchen and unlocked the ability to take multiple orders. Then the pressure got to me. Taking on 4 or 5 orders at a time is a great way to boost the bank balance and level up quickly, but it only counts if you actually manage to do the job properly. Stupidly, I took on far more than I could handle. It's not that it's impossible to complete all orders on time, but if you're suddenly taking on 5 orders and one of them is for a new product type that you've not made before, you're going to waste a lot of time figuring out how to use the machine needed for that order. As good as the tutorial is, it doesn't cover the more advanced stuff that comes along with progression, so there's a lot of fumbling around and digging through the Bakerypedia manual. It's a pain, but with time, I got there, but not without incurring extra costs in ruined stock and failed orders. When it comes to actually completing an order, those buns, donuts and loaves need to actually leave your kitchen and get to their destination, and this is where the strangest aspect of the game comes into play. You can actually drive your delivery vehicle through a fairly small town and drop the goods off yourself. Doing this takes away the normal first-person perspective and puts you up high with a near bird's-eye view of your vehicle and the city streets, kind of like the old GTA games. It's actually a really neat idea, and it works to give you the chance to take a break from the kitchen. My only problem with it is that the camera movement had me feeling a bit queasy, and I never get such a feeling in non-VR games. There's also the fact that you can drive around like an absolute maniac, smashing into other road users and so on without any consequence. I suppose this game is Bakery Simulator, not Delivery Driver Simulator, so I can cut it some slack there, but something to give the delivery section some risk and reward would not have gone amiss. All that being said, if you don't fancy leaving your kitchen unattended, you can just pay for a courier to do the delivery for you. It costs, and if you don't give a tip up front, there's a chance the delivery will fail and your customers won't be so happy. Keeping customers happy is actually really important to the game's progression. Each successfully completed order with a specific customer grants rewards, and there are milestones that give you perks, such as being able to take on more orders per day, or to sprint around in your kitchen. Health and safety be damned, I suppose. Actually, that reminds me, I dropped more than my fair share of baked goods on the floor, and the game did not punish me for simply picking them up and carrying on. So if the pure bakery concept I've just decided to work on ever opens, I'd be careful if I was you. Bakery Simulator is actually a fun little game. It's not the deepest sim you'll find, but it's got just enough there to keep you playing, even after telling yourself, okay, last order. I know this because I sat up until way past 3 AM playing, and I don't regret it. It's a good time, a chilled out game that you can play with a bit of Netflix on the side. It takes a while before you actually feel like you're making any decent gains, but once you do, it's satisfying to set up your kitchen and have it running like a well-oiled machine. And that is the end of this review. Thank you for watching, it's always appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and give the bell icon a ding so you're notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you, hopefully, in the pure bakery sometime in the next decade. Until then, cheers my dears.